Three, two, one, action. Honorable Discharge is a veteran operated platform. Sometimes the humor will be dark, the humor will be dry, the intelligence will be high. Consider the stories you hear as entertainment. There, that is your safety brief and your disclaimer. Welcome on board Honorable Discharge. I am your pilot, Michael Caesar III. Please say the third. This is journey number 2. So, as you just heard, that was 1111 Avenue. I had to go by Azandria Caesar. That is my sister, so do not flag the video. Do not take it down for the music. This is family business. Alright, like I always promised, let's start off with some positive vibes, some good energy. Heman Bekele, a 14-year-old from Virginia, won the 3M Young Scientist Challenge. Now, Heman is from Ethiopia. Him and his family moved to America when he was 4, and in a year and a half, he developed a soap to treat skin cancer. He developed a soap to help treat types of skin cancer. He developed a soap. Heman Bekele developed a soap to help treat types of skin cancer, man. Look, he wanted a low-cost way for people that couldn't afford traditional treatments to be able to have access to an accessible option. Now, this is amazing for Heman. He's only 14, and if he keeps on this trajectory, he should do and achieve even more amazing things for humanity, for himself. I don't know what his ultimate goals are, but I always love seeing like young inventors, especially young black inventors, just do things like this, man. It gives I hope it gives other young people motivation and inspiration to know that man, if you got a goal or you got something you want to do, man, just go out there and do it, man. You got to put one foot in front of the other, small steps. Just take it one step at a time, man. I got to take my own words of advice from that too. Sometimes I bounce around with too many ideas instead of just focusing on one and knocking that out. So, Heman, I'm out here supporting you. I'll be following your journey. And congratulations, good luck to you, man. Alright, we're going to start here. Some rap, some film, some basketball. No, let's start with film. Man, the film world, the world in general, lost a pioneer. Rest in peace to Richard Roundtree. He was 81. He died in his home in Los Angeles after years of battling various types of, there we go, with cancer, man. So Richard was a pioneering black model and a black actor. He blew up during the blaxploitation movement with his portrayal of John Shaft, and that's what he's most recognized for. Now, John Shaft created a franchise, man. It spawned 5 films. It spawned some reboots. People know Shaft worldwide, in my opinion. Like I heard Shaft growing up before I even knew what Shaft was, even saw it. Since being a 90s kid in the 2000s teen, the first Shaft that I saw was a Sam Jackson one, and I had to do my research and find out that was a remake, and I found out who Richard Roundtree was. So, but Shaft, it changed the landscape, man. It changed the way that black males were portrayed on film. He showed the world how cool, how charismatic, how sexy, how confident, how masculine we could be. Before Shaft, from what I'm seeing throughout my film journey and history, is that we were a bunch of characters. We were subservient, we were passive, we were goofy on screen. And Shaft came through and like kind of wiped all that away, or at least changed it. the portrayal forever since then, man. I think every black male actor owes Richard a thank you in general. Richard, along with some others, I don't want to miss anybody out, so I'm not gonna start saying names. But Richard, I am gonna say names. Richard, maybe Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier. There's some others on there, man. I know I'm leaving out, but just people like that in general, they really open up the doors for black men and actors, because we know film is powerful. Film doesn't even have to be correct, but it reaches so many people that perception of what you see on screen can often become reality in certain people's minds, especially if they don't care to do further research. Like, one big thing is with biopics, like, based on a true story only means only this much has to be based on a true story, but this much can make the movie. So if you don't go look and dive deeper, you would think what you saw on the screen is accurate, and that's not the case, bro. All right, let's roll through. Oh, so I saw a trailer for the film Leave the World Behind, and this has an all-star cast of Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali, Ethan Hawke, and Mihaela Harold. And if I pronounce your name wrong, I do apologize. Now, it's based on a book of the same name written by Rumen Alma, and this book came out in 2020. Oh, that's dope. So, man, that's really dope. It only took 3 years for his book to get a film adaptation, and look at the cast in that. That's got to be an amazing feeling. And I think Ruma and his kids are also in the movie too, as extras. From the trailer, it looks like it's taken heavy from the book. A white family is staying in an Airbnb. The black family, who is the owners of the Airbnb, come back to their property, maybe unannounced, or it looks like they came back unannounced. Then a catastrophic global event happens. Now you have two families in one residence dealing with animosity, paranoia, trying to survive through whatever's happening in the world. It's directed by Sam Esmail. He is known, the name sounds familiar. He created and directed the amazing show Mr. Robot. I've started that show maybe 3 times. It's one of those shows where I have to dedicate all my time to it. I can't just put it on in the background and try to get the gist of it. I think I made it to season 3 and realized I had no idea what the fuck was going on. And I tried reading episode guides, but that wasn't good enough. I wanted to go back and actually watch it. And being a computer guy, I liked some of the elements. No, I love the elements in Mr. Robot. So one day, I will sit down and go back and watch that, man. All right, Leave the World Behind is also the first feature film that will be produced by the Obama's Higher Ground production company. That has to be a good feeling too, from your book. In 3 years to go to that. All right, Denzel was originally one of the producers on the film, and he was going to star in it, but he stepped away and got replaced by Mahershala, and you could not ask for a better replacement than Mahershala. Mahershala Ali, man, when he got on in the acting world, he did not look back, and that's something you have to do in anything in life, but especially in entertainment. When it's your time, when you get your foot in the door, man, you got to kick every single door down and go as hard as you can. The cinematography was done by Ty Campbell. Man, I'm going to play some of the trailer. Probably when I make this video, I'm going to edit it in. Maybe give a link to it. But Leave the World Behind premiered at AFI Fest in October. It's going to be in theaters November 22nd and on Netflix December 8th. So let's keep it on track with some Mahershala Ali news. Got some Blade updates. Now, the journey for Blade, the reboot, has not been prosperous. But we just got some good news about it, and that's going to be at the end of this segment. So, MCU's Blade was first announced at Comic-Con in 2019. I believe this was when the Eternals was announced, or I know they had the Eternals cast on stage, and Kevin Feige brought out Mahershala and announced Blade. And the only thing we've seen on Blade is, we haven't even seen it. It was just his voice. In 2001, in the post-credit scene for the Eternals, when he was talking to the Black Knight, who was, he opened up a box and had the ebony blade.
Sure you're ready for that, Mr. Whitman?
And I think that was just done to keep the Blade name in the zeitgeist of the MCU and in the fans. So it was reported by Variety that the MCU was trying to cut spending, and Blade was on one of those lists So the budget is gonna be $100 million. It's gonna be the first MCU film since the original Iron Man to be under $100 million. To me, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Blade is a more grounded character. It's not a film that needs to be or needs to have a huge visual effects budget. You don't need to be that high. Like the original Blade films that set up the foundation for Marvel movies and kept the lights on in Marvel had budgets of 45, 54, and 65 million. Blade 2, which is regarded as one of the GOAT comic films and one of my favorite comic films, the budget was 54 million. So, in my mind, with the right actors, the right script, the right director, and this is pivotal, the right makeup and costume department, you can make a great action vampire movie. Like I said, Blade 2, 54 million. Amazing. Due to the action in it, some of the CGI that was not needed, you know, the little rubbery moments that Wesley looked, and then the other vampires that came looking for Wesley. We get that. But if you have the good makeup and costume department, I think you can make a great movie. So Blade is also on its second director. The original director, Basama Tariq, stepped down and became an executive producer. He said it was for scheduling changes. I also read that him and Mahershala couldn't get along. Both of those are just suspected rumors. But it's also reported that Mahershala did not like the script at all. The script was 90 pages with only 2 action sequences. It was, in all other words, not a Blade movie. I don't know what the details of the script were. Maybe it'll come out later on. But that would have been a waste of everyone's time if you made a Blade movie with only 2 major action sequences. Like you need to have some fighting in there somewhere. That's one of Blade's that makes the character. Now the new Blade director, Yan Discharge, he directed Top Boy. I've only seen a couple episodes. Lovecraft Country, amazing show. Highly recommend it. It stars Jernay Smollett, Jonathan Majors. It's a good twist on the Lovecraft folklore. If you like sci-fi, black sci-fi, it's based in a good time period where it's a good show, man. It's one of HBO's hits they canceled. He also directed White Boy Rick and 71. And so Yan was talking with Deadline, and he spoke about the delays around Blade. And he also talked about him wanting to showcase Mahershala's ferocity on screen. And that since he got a green light from Marvel to make the film rated R, that him and Mahershala are really getting along now, and they can't wait to just bring the ruthlessness and the roughness of Blade. So, you know, something like that could just reinvigorate a movie, because you don't want to go out there and have a character like Blade be in a PG or PG-13 movie and end up coming out whack like Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. You got a movie about Cletus Cassidy, a serial killer, and an alien symbiote, and you make the movie PG-13. That was definitely a whack choice. At this point, we all know that it's for money, because you can reach, studios think you can reach, you can reach a wider audience when something is PG-13. But look, man, teenagers and adults, we like gore, we like comic book stuff too, so show us some love other than Deadpool. Now, I don't know, now I'm sure they put that news out there, because this news is coming back to back. The budget cuts came first, and then a couple days later, the news about Blade being rated R came right afterwards. I'm pretty sure they had all that news at the same time, but they're just trying to build up a buzz and a nice timeline to put Blade out there and get the ball rolling on that, man. All right, let's get this rap. You know what? Yeah, let's go to this rap. Oh man, Tobe Nwigwe, he has a new song called Milano Freestyle. Now, Tobe is on that list of artists that I've never heard a whack song or heard a whack verse from. I think he's the best rapper in Texas right now, and he's definitely the best rapper out of Texas in a long time, in my opinion. He's one of my favorite rappers from Texas, along with Chamillionaire, Cooper, Zero, Bun, And I gotta show Yellow Beezy some hometown love, man. Tobe's videos are always very captivating. Like he has that mint theme going through all of them, which that's a good color because it's not a color I've seen very often in hip hop and just often in music videos. His lyrics are always intriguing, and I'm very happy for him that he's getting mainstream love and attention now. But it's always one of those bittersweet things when you like an artist that you feel like you've been there throughout their journey, then they start to blow up. You feel like you're losing them and losing a piece of them a little bit, which is never necessarily a bad thing, but you know, it's honestly selfish as a fan. So we gotta learn how to get over that. I always love seeing that he has his wife Fat and with him for his performances and his songs. I never not see them together. And I think that's amazing for a black couple and a couple in general to just be rocking like that in public always, man. But all right, he starts off the song by keeping on the Milano concept. He says ciao bella, which can mean hello or goodbye in Italian. And he's got some good bars that stood out to me from the flow into the rhyme scheme. One, he goes, and it gets treacherous. Meet you at your front door like a receptionist. Where I'm from, a cold heart a prerequisite. That's why I ain't with all that tongue wrestling. Then he goes, then before that he says, I'm in pictures. In the pictures I'm in it, that's why I frame it. Keep lead for the demons, try to draw down on me. It's only right that I paint them. Now my favorite part of the song is he's singing all this, and I'm not mimicking his cadence or his flow this time around. He's singing all this. He says a hallelujah, give the Most High praise, but I still put a hollow through you. And that's the most amazing part of the song to me, because I like the dichotomy of saying hallelujah, but shit, I'm still a man and I still will put a hollow through you. That made me laugh when I heard that, and I've heard the song a lot. So keeping with the segues, keeping it flowing with Texas. Kid Cudi has 2 new songs. One of them called At the Party features Travis Scott, and it features Pharrell. It's produced by Pharrell and John Baptiste. The song At the Party is supposed to pay homage to one of Cudi's friends, the iconic designer Virgil Abloh. Rest in peace to Virgil. Man, the beat, like I said, it's done by Pharrell and John Baptiste. The beat is cool. It's very bouncy and ominous at the same time. It gives me a vibe like maybe if I was smoking like a very strong indica, and I was my whole body was tingling, and I could feel every like kick and clap and every hum in the song. I like the beat, man. I played the song a couple times today. It's growing on me, man. It's just Cudi. Man, he's vibing out in the song, talking about Cleveland City roots. Anybody else got loose? When I get it in, I'm tripped on shrooms, and I'm screaming out, fuck them, I'm running with the troops. I'm a top-notch nigga you ain't never seen. You ain't happy with your life. You need to make a dream. I mean, so from what I've heard so far, man, Cudi been on his shit with this. On the song, what's the second one? Ill What I Bleed. Yeah, it's produced by Cudi, Carl Rubin, John Baptiste, and DJ Replay. So it seems like Cudi likes working with John Baptiste. I need to look up and see if they have any more songs together. It may be one of those things where I just started paying attention to it and they've been doing it for years. Man, so the video is out for Ill What I Bleed, and Cudi directed it along with Jason Goldwatch, and it's Cudi dancing and rapping around Seoul, South Korea. You know, he out there, way out there having fun, staying clear of Lupe.
Give me this bitch ass nigga Cudi number. If I see him, I'm knocking him the fuck out.
I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's not that lyrical heavy. It's just another Cudi like vibe track. Like I tried looking for some bars to quote, but I was gonna be forcing it. It's just it is what it is. Check it out, man. All right, move on to some veteran topics. Oh, this one I really like. All right, you see the plank. You see the plaque behind me. CVN 77 plank owner arriving. Ioyus, if you ain't ordinance, you ain't shit. I was in the Navy for 8 years, and I never heard of this job. It's a mortician. I never even thought about military morticians. And that's an oversight on me because, of course, if you've ever been in the Navy and the military in general, it's its own ecosystem. There is a job for every counterpart in the civilian world. So I don't know why I didn't think about a Navy mortician. Now, from my research, it's an NEC, which stands for Navy Enlisted Classification. It's a job that falls under the HM hospital corpsman raid. And the Navy recently promoted I'm gonna say another name. Recently promoted Jessica Zugzada to an EA, which is a senior chief. It's only the second time the Navy has promoted a Mortician to senior chief. So shout out to all the Navy Morticians, because that sounds like a very, very hard job. You need to have the mental fortitude to do that job. Shipmates, you play a vital role in taking care of the bodies of Marines and the bodies of just, I'm assuming sailors too, and maybe all of armed services, all vets, man. It's a tough ass job having to contact the family members and government officials to talk about something so grim, and just to keep your mental health about that, man. So, Navy Morticians, keep your head up, man. If you want somebody to talk, want somebody to vent about with no repercussions, find my email on here. We can chop it up. All right, so there's a bill in Montana. Montana Governor Greg Gianforte announced a new bill that will exempt up to 50% of military retirement pay from state taxes. This is an attempt. He wants to bring more of a veteran population to Montana. So, if you're looking to live somewhere that borders Canada, has a great scenery, and seems to be a vet-friendly state, check out Montana. Was that corny? I don't think it was corny. Shout out to French. All right, we move along. I got this to say. Fair winds and following seas, man. To all my shipmates out there on the Gerald R. Ford CVN 78 and the Eisenhower CVN 79. Both strike groups are now in the Mediterranean Sea. They've both been ordered to stay over there, stand by to support operations in Israel. And I believe the Ford was ending their deployment, and they were on their way back home, and they got told to spin the block and stay out there and do circles, man. And the Ike was supposed to be the replacement and relieve the Ford, but now they're both out in the Med, looking like death from above. You can see them from the shore. That's it. Shipmates out there, stay woke, stay safe. I don't have too much more information about this subject to talk the shit and go in how I want to go in. I've been doing research on it for like a week, and right now I'm just not ready to do that. All right, now let's talk about some basketball. The NBA is back. Basketball joy and basketball drama is back in my life, man. Let me get this out the way. James Harden, the legend, the revolutionary hooper. Y'all see the step back. I learned that from James. He is now selling as a Clipper. And to me, it's so dope to have all those greats on the same squad, all being from Cali. And I'm assuming one day they're going to sit down, have some wine, have a cigar. And Paul, Kawhi, Russ, and James are going to be like, damn. All of us Cali boys, all sitting here, all basically legends in this game. All have achieved a lot in this game. We all have accolades to our name. Some of us are top 75 players. One of us has a few championships. This is amazing, guys, right? And they're all going to nod and say yes. But all right, so it's early into the season, so let's get into the West side of things. The Nuggets are still looking like they are in champion mode. They're 7-1. They look like they did not take any vacation during the summer. Like they just won the championship, maybe took a week off and went straight back to practice every day. Nikola Jokic has 2 triple-doubles in a week. He looks like he out there playing 2K on Pro. So that gives him 108 career triple-dubs. He moved up to 4th all-time on the list, passing up LeBron, passing up Jason Kidd. Man, he needs 30 more to be at 138 to catch and pass Magic. Now, if he stays on pace, he should get to that 3rd all-time maybe by the mid to the end of the season next year. And if he did it this season, that's just straight up basketball God body mode. Man, I don't know. Yeah, he's still hooping, man. That's crazy. It's good. It's amazing to watch him play. So another star on the Nuggets, Jamal Murray. This is some sad news about Jamal. He's out to 3 weeks to a month with a hamstring injury. And man, I hate that for Jamal because with the new 65 game minimum to be eligible for All-Star, All-NBA, All-Defensive Team, and any kind of awards, that will cut his time very short for him to try to make that deadline, man. I don't know if there's a clause in the new CBA rules about injuries. I would think it would be, but if not, man, it might be over with him from trying to make those teams, man. So, staying on the west side of basketball, my hometown team, the Dallas Mavericks, are shooting their way through the West right now. They are 6-1. Luka has 1 triple-double for the season, is averaging around 32 so far. And I've watched some of his games, man. Luka looked like he never left either, man. Like he just took maybe a couple days off, went into FIBA, hooped it up, and came right back into the NBA. Kyrie, the people's champ, is averaging around 20 points and 7 assists. I like the way they're looking. Man, they look a lot better than they did last year after being thrown together halfway through the season. So hopefully they can keep this up and get to the playoffs this year, because that was terrible that they tanked and missed the playoffs last year. Speaking of tanking in Dallas, they're tanking to acquire Derek Lively. Man, it looks like it's paying off. He looks good so far as a big man for the Mavericks. He's holding it down on defense by himself and putting up some points, man. I still think Dallas should have kept JaVale just for his championship and vet presence. And he's still active. He's still a very active player right now. So, all right. The Warriors are 6-2. Steph is just fucking amazing, man. He also looks like he's playing 2K on Pro. He's averaging 30 so far, 87% from the free throw, and not even looking tired when he's doing this shit, man. He was just named the Western Conference Player of the Week for October 30th to November 5th. You know, LeBron gets a lot of the OG talk, but Steph and KD are 35 and still cooking, still looking like the best players on their teams, man. Speaking of KD, the Suns and the Lakers are 3-4. Not that good, but it's also the beginning of the season. You know, that's terrible. You know what? I apologize I said that. 3-4 is not bad. All right. I'm not saying it's time to drain the lake or block the sun, but I thought they would come out hotter than that. I thought they would come out hot, stack up a bunch of wins, and then chill off. But it looks like they've been trying to catch fire and can't. And I'm sure that was a plan, because we can finally start to see age somewhat creeping up on them. But like I said, just a little bit, because they still putting up 30-plus point games, man. And the rest of their games are not like really low. They're still high 20s, and maybe one game at 18 and 19. So against the Clippers, LeBron had 35 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. So he was just 3 assists short of a triple-double. And that's still amazing at his age. Also, Kevin Durant has had to carry the sun like the African sun god Lizard. That's all right. His co-star Devin Booker has only played 2 games. Now in those 2 games, Booker, he dropped 31 and 32 and had close to a triple-double both games. So he's had a hurt toe and a hurt calf. Those have been in the injury reports, and I think he just played through those to try to contribute and help out the team as much as he could. So I mean, he a lot of props for me for doing that. But so far in 7 games, Kevin Durant has had 41, 39, 31, and high 20-point games. So he almost looks identical to the numbers that LeBron has been putting up. Some honorable mentions for the West Coast. Zach LaVine has been hooping. He put up 51 points against the Pistons. I haven't looked all the way, but I'm hearing that his contract is coming up, or he's available to be traded. I don't know if he wants to stay in Chicago anymore, but I think Chicago's treated him good, and he's been good in Chicago. Yeah. Also, the NBA better start watching the Oklahoma City Thunder. Look at me talking like that. I'm pretty sure the NBA knows more than me. So I'm pretty sure players and coaches have been watching the Thunder, because they out here balling. Shea Gilgeous and Chet Holmgren are coming for their respect, man. And who else out here? Oh, Victor Wembanyama. Now, 5th game into his pro career, he dropped 38, 10, and 2 on the Suns after beating them. That was the 2nd game he beat them back-to-back, man. But damn, these non-Americans looking good out here, bro. Hey, y'all American Hoopers, y'all better get y'all shit together, bro. But speaking of American Hoopers, let's head out east. The Celtics have their leprechaun magic working early. Jason Tatum right now is looking like our American MVP hope, man. He was an Eastern Conference player from October 30th to November 5th. And out of 6 games so far, Jason has 30-plus games in 5 of those. In 3 of those games, he has double-digit rebounds. Now, his teammate Jaylen Brown is also doing his thing, averaging around 23. In the 4th game of the season, he gave the Wizards 36. Kristaps Porzingis is also doing his thing. Like most people knew, he added an instant 20-plus points a game to the roster. Man, he dropped 30 on the Knicks, which is his old team, on opening night. The 76ers are also off to a good start. They're 5-1. Joel Embiid is still in his MVP form, putting up around mid-20s to 30s. Man, he even scored 48 on the Wizards, so the Wizards are getting beat up out here on the East. And it's looking like they're not even missing James Harden at all. Tyrese Maxey and Tobias Harris immediately got busy after James left. And man, they are both averaging 20-plus with some 30-point games in there. So some East Coast honorable mentions. The Bucks are 4-2. Dame put up 38, 39, 8-4 in his first game as a Buck. And Giannis is being Giannis, showing his dominance and greatness every single night. I expect the Bucks to do good things this year. I would really love to see Dame win the championship or in the finals, but I would also love to see Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown win the finals. All right, Donovan Mitchell is holding the Cavs down with 3 30-point plus games, and he dropped 43 on the Thunder. Out in Brooklyn, Cam Thomas is balling like he's a young Jay, or Jay at any point in his career. Jay was always balling. All right, Cam hit a cold-ass logo shot in Dame's grill, and he ended the game with 45 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists, and 1 steal. I mean, he also has 3 30-point plus games throughout the season so far. So the Nets have Cam, Mikal Bridges, Ben Simmons, Spencer Dinwiddie, Nick Claxton, and I believe they got Cameron Thomas. Man, that's a nice-ass squad for the Nets, man. So NBA's back. The scoring is up. The hooping is up. And all the mid-season tournament started. I didn't get around talking about that. Them bright-ass courts they got out there. Them glossy-ass, candy paint-ass courts, man. All right, moving on to some tech and some science right here too. So this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. We live in an era where data is gold. Those hacks that you see in data leaks that pop up maybe a couple times a year from these companies aren't coincidences. In my opinion, those are just companies selling off our data, or maybe hackers have been paid to come collect our data. But I think it's the first one. I think our stuff is being sold off now, but I think websites are more conscious of it because the people are more conscious of it. Every website you go to now, or a lot of them, not every, they offer you permissions now, and they give you a list of what you agree and what you disagree with about storage on data that they collect from just your IP address, from your email address, just from you clicking on there. Man, I also suggest that people skim and read through users agreements. I know I don't do that all the time. There's a good doc I watched. I forgot the name of it. That's terrible on me. I'm going to link it in the bio. But, hell, them user agreements are long for a reason. It shouldn't need to be like Ye said. He don't read contracts over one page. But, all right, so Google is testing a feature that would allow you to scrub your name from search results. I went over it. I did it. It seems to be very easy. I'm going to try to make a separate video for this, or just go along with it, screen record it for this. So what you would do is search your name, click the 3 dots that pop up by whatever you see that comes up with your name. A menu is going to pop up. You're going to find remove results, and some other options are going to pop up. You click on that and you submit your request, and you think you're going to get 2 more screens that pop up, and that should be it. and it's in a beta process right now. Now you can monitor your request by going to the data and privacy options on your Google account, and you will scroll down to My Activity, press the three dots on the search bar, and then you're gonna see Other Activity and press Manage Results About You, and then you should be able to see the status of your request. Now, I don't know if this is gonna get rid of everywhere, but some people have things like LinkedIn profiles and Indeed profiles, and it's just gonna, that stuff's gonna stay up on the internet unless you want to get rid of your profile for like finding jobs or just networking with people about jobs. Moving on with tech. An ultrasound scanner has been developed to detect breast cancer tumors and people that are most at risk in developing one. Now, this was developed at MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, by, here go another name, Kanan Dagdirian. What? Kanan Dagdirian.
Today, Junior?
Kanan, ma'am, look, I apologize for mispronouncing your name. But it's a small ultrasound device that's going to be attached to a flexible polymer strap that can be slipped inside a bra. Like I said, it's going to detect tumors and people that are most at risk for developing one. Now, breast cancer detected early enough has a very high survival rate. And right now, from what I looked up, around 30% of Americans have breast cancer. And there are similar technologies that are being developed in Nigeria where breast cancer is the most common type of cancer. Now, just like the first story, this is one of the reasons why I love the advancements that we're making with tech in the healthcare field. I think it's only going to get better, and I hope that these smaller inventions and companies don't get stifled and blocked by more powerful and financially powerful companies that just want to keep people sick and keep people coming back for treatments, man. So let's round it out with some more positive news. Oh, I love this one. So some debt activists wiped out around $10 million in student loan debt by buying it. So around 3,000 students from the HBCU Morehouse College had their student loan debt taken care of from a union called the Debt Collective and the Rolling Jubilee Fund. The $10 million worth of debt was bought for around $125,000. I know that doesn't compute in brains. It didn't compute in my brain, but this was made possible because the debt was owned by the college and not the federal government. That's what I'm finding out. They were able to buy it for like pennies on a dollar, basically. Now this is a huge shout out to that organization for looking out for HBCU like that. Student debt is one of the very negative aspects about being an American, especially once you find out around the world that college is cheaper and sometimes it's free. We have to go out our way to get scholarships and to get student loans and grants to just go to school and get higher education out here, and sometimes it doesn't even amount to what you want it to amount to, man. Thank you, government, for this one thing. The GI Bill was so clutch. It allowed me to go to different schools when I was undisciplined and didn't even know how to pick a school. I was able to pick up some good certifications in cybersecurity and computer science. Now I'm going to school for filmmaking, so I'm almost done with that. Hopefully things like this will catch on for all higher education institutions across the country. So, man, and now we are coming back in about the doc. I want to thank everybody that stayed. This is a little shorter one. From the first journey, I'm still trying to figure out the balance in between times on here, the cadence, how many subjects I need to have. Once again, thank you. This is Honorable Discharge, and we are about to dock back in to the sounds of Xandria Caesar.